Pop Culture Pastor.
So, Cody, this is take 2 after you messed up take 1. Just so everybody knows, I started to hit record, and Cody, dropped his phone like he was dropping a mic.
Because I might drop a mic later on in this.
Cody lacks professionalism, and I just want everyone to know.
True-ish.
True-ish.
I'm interested, Cody. I have a question to start off with here. When did you move out of home with your parents?
So I did a couple of years at the local community college, and my parents were like, as long as you're going to school and you work, you can live at our house.
Yeah.
So I did that.
I think that's pretty normal.
And then I went away for 2 years to Salina and lived there.
For more college.
Mm-hmm. After I graduated, stayed at my parents' house for like a month, and then started my new job in Independence. So
ooh,
technically,
but you came back home? Ooh.
Well,
no. I'm just messing with you.
There is either 20 or 22.
No. I'm just setting you up a bit. I think that's pretty normal-ish these days, especially. This is Pop Culture Pastor, the podcast. My name's Dave. Cody's here.
The podcast that judges you if you stay at home too long.
We don't judge. We're not judging. Also, you may have heard another voice. That voice is of Andy Acker. First time on the show. Andy, tell everyone what you do.
I'm Andy Acker, and for my full-time job, I work for the college with a grant program with, it's called Trio. It's one of the 3 trios. It's called Talent Search, and so I am not looking for amazing talent as far as singing and dancing. I'm trying to help youth, middle schoolers, high schoolers understand that they have something that they are able to do with their life that will take them beyond the boundaries of just high school, that we want them to go on and do something successful.
I was a Talent Search kid.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that.
See,
and the circle of life.
He did something great with his life.
Well, thank you.
He did. Wow, look at you guys. Just buttering each other up here. I am outnumbered. Yeah. You guys seem to be in similar areas. Yeah. Working with the kids, the youth.
Middle school, high school.
But I'll join you in your world, though. I'm also a pastor at a church. So pastor Friends Home Lutheran Church out near Savensburg. And so
look at that.
Great people out there. So
there are some nice people.
I'll come your way, too.
It's a pop culture pastor trinity.
Finally, it's happening.
Finally, it's all happening. We've done it before. We've had DJ on several times. Okay, so the reason I asked you when you moved out of home, Cody, apparently 2025 is giving us the rise of something called the hub sun.
Yeah.
So, you sent me this story today, and I fell down this rabbit hole. I fell down hard. Because at first I thought this was a joke.
I sent Dave so many stories, and this is the one he goes with.
Oh, you can't ignore this one. So, stay-at-home sons is a thing.
Yes.
It's a real thing. Not your, basement gamer, stereotypical, kid who won't move out. These guys are, proudly domestic. They're cooking dinners. They're cleaning the pool, if you have a pool. They're driving mom to the airport. And they're calling it a lifestyle choice. I mean, you can call it whatever you want. To me, I just couldn't believe it. I thought this was a joke.
I have asked my wife to work 3 jobs so I could be a trophy husband. Has not happened yet.
Domesticated son sounds like a son that's smart enough to know that if he doesn't do those things, he will have to move out.
This is the ultimate Gen Z life hack. Is what I'm calling it right now.
Although it's with millennials.
And millennials, yeah. So old Gen Z, young millennials.
Yeah. They're living the dream, potentially. A dream.
Listen, we grew up being told to get a job, buy a car, get out of the house. This generation's why don't I just skip all that and I'll have dinner on the table by 6? Let me fill you in, all right? So the listeners are are you going to tell us about it or not? So there's a new cultural trend. Grown men, mostly late 20s to mid 30s, moving back in with their parents, but not as like freeloaders like I would have done. They're calling themselves, this is great, Trad Sons.
Yeah.
Or Hub Sons, a play on the Trad Wives like influencer thing. These guys handle the homemaking duties, cooking, cleaning, grocery shopping, taking care of the house, while their parents, usually mom, works. The role is unpaid, but described as a lifestyle. It's a sort of a reverse Cinderella story, if you may.
It is.
So here's some examples. Luke Parkhurst, 33, from Las Vegas, quit a $170,000 a year sales job. He was selling solar panels to move back home. Calls himself a stay-at-home son, which I'm all for this. Some say I was a stay-at-home son during high school.
Ayo.
He does chores. He fixes things. He cooks dinner while his mom, who's a flight attendant, covers the bills. He says it's, quote, his dream job. Well, yeah. And is happier now than in corporate life.
I would be too.
Brendan Lyle of
Wait
Vancouver.
a second. So his mom is gone because she's a flight attendant. So he only has to clean up the house when she's coming home. So he theoretically doesn't have to do this job like most of the week.
I see where you're going.
And then he catches up one day of the week.
Andy is cynical. I see where he's going here. There's more. There's more of these people.
Okay.
Brendan Lyle, who's a Jeopardy champion, first of all, smart dude, keeps his elderly aunts entertained by playing gin rummy with them, which, of course. What? Only when they're not playing bridge, right?
I have only heard of people playing that. I've never seen it.
Well, we lost the cribbage board. He jokes that it's grueling work in this article. Abdullah Abbasi, 24 years old, one of the younger ones.
Oh.
He runs a fashion brand alongside being a stay-at-home son. The fashion brand is called Stay-at-Home Sons, with the tagline, "Doing nothing is hard."
Yes. Do I need a shirt? Maybe.
Does it say Stay-at-Home Sons on it?
Is that his whole brand? His fashion brand is for other stay-at-home sons?
Yes. That is pretty niche.
That definitely. But he understands that crowd for sure.
Yeah. Says he helps his parents, drives family members around, says he's content. No bills, no rent, and the freedom to focus on creative pursuits. So I guess what I want to say is, Andy, would you be proud to put stay-at-home son on your LinkedIn profile?
No pride. No pride whatsoever.
I don't know if you advertise it. I just think you live the life.
Yeah, I'm assuming these dudes are all single. That's going to be a hard explainer. Unless the younger generation just doesn't.
They don't care.
I might be out of touch with the youngest generation. Maybe they don't care. But I have to think most
you
women.
Want to come back to my mom's house with me? Just doesn't have a good ring to
We
it.
don't advise you do that anyway. We are pastors.
Right. Have Bible
let's
study.
keep it casual. Let's keep it casual. As Cody would say, leave space for Jesus.
Please.
There will be plenty of space for Jesus with him living at home with his mom.
You ready for the data?
I am ready.
This blew me away, you guys. About 1 in 3 adults aged 18 to 34 now live with their parents, according to U.S. Census data. 1 in 3.
So, starting at 18.
That's interesting. Like, I wonder how much it affects the numbers if you say like 21 to 34.
Yes.
That would be interesting because, yes, kids that go to college locally, like my kids, my oldest will probably live with us at least through the first 2 years of community college that we have in our little town before she decides to go do however she's going to continue her education or whatever, get a job, whatever.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that is interesting. I think that's pretty normal, but that's still a shocking number.
I think it's a cultural trend in our nation as a whole, though, is it's acceptable for families generationally to be in the same household. Not like freeloading, not having a job and making mom and dad do it, but grandma, grandpa, mom and dad.
And it's actually
kids.
a return to an older thing.
Yeah.
In ancient, or not even ancient, like up to a couple hundred years ago, wouldn't have been any big deal for your nuclear family, the family in the home, to consist of like grandparents. Yeah, like way bigger than what we usually think.
Right.
So it's interesting for our context.
I've seen Charlie in the Chocolate Factory.
Men in that age range says more likely than women to live at home, according to Pew Research. Family therapist Catherine Smerling says it's not about laziness or gentle parenting. Yeah, I know what you're going to say, you psychologists. Explain it away, No. She sees it as a response to social instability, job insecurity, housing crisis, mental health struggles, and inflation. I think all of those are worthy explanations.
Oh, yeah. They all contribute to the rise of that. But I would also deposit as a male that could theoretically fall in this age range because I'm in my mid-30s. I don't want to work.
The tendency we have these days is with any given topic to go one extreme or the other, like make it a black and white issue, and it's usually gray. But certainly there's some deadbeat sons out there.
Yes.
Buying the gear. They're buying the stay-at-home son's gear.
And playing video games in between cleaning and cooking dinner.
Yeah, his mom is a flight attendant, and she's gone all week, and he only has to work one day a week.
It's a pretty sweet gig, if you can get it, I think. So, yeah, you sent me this article today, and I just started reading up on it, read a couple other articles, and, yeah, it's a real thing. This is a real thing that's happening. But the bottom line is there are definitely more kids, adult children living at home with their parents kind of indefinitely.
Absolutely.
Which I was surprised by, because I'm still listen, it's the 21st century. It's the 2025, but my brain is still like in the 20th century sometimes, if that makes sense.
You're solid Gen X.
I was going to say, sometimes I'm in the 19th century.
Every Gen Alpha kid or Gen Z kid listening just said, okay, boomer. Like, I'm not a boomer.
It's like, wait a second.
I go back to like Amish, like pastimes, and like, what's this newfangled contraption? I can't use it.
All right.
I'm out.
At this point of the show, Cody's got to leave because he's got to go churn butter. All right. It's time for the movie game. You want to play the movie game, Andy?
Absolutely.
All right. Here's how the movie game works. First, I grab my sticky note here with my rules on it. And I tell you, I'm holding 3 Rotten Tomato movie profiles. One of a movie that was terrible, one with a movie that was mediocre, and one that was certified fresh. Okay. And there are flights to this, levels, and I'll give you different things at each level, and you'll try to solve it. And you'll try to do it faster than Cody does.
Ooh.
So
you got this.
You get to go first. Would you like to try and solve the terrible movie, the mediocre movie, or the good movie?
I feel like I've seen a lot of mediocre movies, so let's go that route.
All right, mediocre movie. This is a higher mediocre, 68%.
Okay.
So the cutoff was 70. That was what I decided. So a 68% rated movie that came out in 2007.
Oh, that's my wheelhouse. Okay.
I was alive then.
Yeah.
I was watching movies.
That end of college, so I still had time to watch movies.
Cody has done his annual guess of Pirates 3 this time.
Yes.
Pirates of the Caribbean 3. It's not Pirates of the Caribbean. Do you need to go to the next level? Or are you going to throw out a guess?
No, I need another level.
Okay. The second billed actor, Alice Braga.
Oh, if you don't know Alice, I don't know you, buddy.
68% 2007 movie, Alice Braga.
Which one of Alice's movies was it?
Yeah, and if you don't get the next one, you can just guess another Alex Braga movie.
Nope, next level.
Audience score, you're going to love this. 68%. They were lined up right with the critics. I think that's the first time we've ever seen that.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
You know who probably,
just guess another Braga movie.
You know who probably knows who Alice Braga is?
Scotty
and Jackson.
Yeah, they could.
Just really random off the wall names, and they're like, oh yeah, who doesn't know them?
It's going to make sense when you hear the movie. We'll go to level 4, the first billed actor, Will Smith.
Oh, Will I Am Smith?
Will Smith, 68% for a 2007 movie. Critics, theater goers agreed, 68%. Alice Braga and Will Smith. You're going to have to go to level 5.
Yep,
That's the blurb.
Okay.
Here we go. Dave's blurb voice. After a virus wipes out 99% of humanity and turns nearly everyone else into bloodthirsty monsters, a scientist who may be the last man on Earth searches for a cure.
I Am Legend.
It is I Am Legend.
I wrote that down.
Which makes
total sense.
Make sure everyone knows Cody guessed it right, but at the same time, everyone listening did.
It was before the blur voice got started, but I almost said The Last Man on Earth because that's
the book it's based on,
the
right?
book and the Vincent Price movie.
Yeah. And so, by the way, with a kind of a different story, they
I'd
changed
give
a little
it
bit.
above 68%.
I love that movie. Also, it makes sense. The Alice Braga makes sense when you realize it was just her, him, and the dog.
Right.
Like in the whole movie.
I was about to say, I didn't know the dog had 2 names.
Okay. Cody, all you got to do is solve it by the blurb.
Give me the fresh one.
He's
for
going
once.
fresh. Okay. He's going fresh. We're going to start off with a 2009 movie, certified fresh at 78%. So a lower fresh movie. 2009.
Okay, let's see.
Let's go. Guess that Pirates of the Caribbean movie.
I nearly did. Anchorman 2.
That's a solid guess, but it's not Anchorman 2. Level 2 is the second billed actor is Ed Helms.
I might botch this completely. So next one.
Audience score 84%. Audiences liked it slightly better than critics did.
Woof. I'm disappointed in myself right now.
Yeah. This might be the kicker. First billed actor Bradley Cooper.
B-Rad Cooper?
That's him. Bradley Cooper, Ed Helms, 78% in 2009.
The Hangover.
It is The Hangover. Well done. Well done. Cody wins this round of the movie game. He did get an easier
I did.
setup.
No, that's fine.
I think they're equal movies in stature. It's just that I Am Legend not having, usually that second billed actor is going to be more of a hint. All right. It's time for us to talk about The Road Movie, a Hollywood pastime. We'll be right back. All right, here we go. You know what goes with the road trip? Always, always, always is overconfidence. There's always overconfidence, and they're like, oh, we can make it there in one tank. Sometimes that's been said. Or if you're old enough, like me, to be an 80s kid.
And me.
You remember the time before GPSs where like dad refuses to take and use the map. No, I got this. I can find it. You know, a few hours later, you're stopping at a seedy gas station, Tucumcari, New Mexico, to ask for directions. And of course, they're sending you to wherever The Hills Have Eyes got filmed. You familiar with that movie, Andy?
I know the name of it.
Don't watch it. It leaves scars. But yeah, the road trips traditionally, I feel like, have overconfidence in them.
I thought you were going to say have great playlists.
They do have great playlists too.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to talk about some things that kind of go along with the treasured trope of Hollywood. One of them, the road movie, which I thought this would be fun. We're going to talk about our favorite road movies later on. But I thought that would be fun because there's so many of them. Like,
I'm going to sabotage this.
Of course you are. I would say this is the part where I'm disappointed, but it's Cody.
Yeah.
And I don't even know what Cody persona this is.
Saboteur.
Yeah, but that's not, it's not alliterative.
I have in my brain, I've got a prediction in my brain, and I'll tell you if it comes true what I think he's going to do.
Conspiring
I feel
Cody.
I know what's going to happen. He's going to have these like loosely based road movies.
They're going to be so much hardcore road movies, it'll make you sick.
Like the group chat, I already shot down Empire Strikes Back and someone got mad at me.
He also shot down Roadhouse.
Roadhouse is not a road movie at all.
No.
There's a road in the house.
No, now come on, man. If all your movies have the word road in it, I'm going to throw something at you. I am taking this very seriously, and if you sabotage it like that, I'm going to suspend you. You're suspended.
That'd be sad. Suspend it for the 200 episode.
We just brought in some replacement, like a scab. Like it's like he was on strike, and I just brought in a replacement co-host. Some guy, his name is Kyle instead of Cody. And he would have like very faint Cody isms where he was kind of almost like Cody, but not
Almost
quite
there, yeah.
That's what's going to happen. No. Cody, what are some of your... Well, let me ask Andy first. Andy, what are some of your favorite road trips from your life?
So you have to have context. My dad was in the Navy, so we moved all the time. So road trips are just kind of like, oh, which one? Because that was like we were moving from place to place. I think probably the big one that comes to mind, like classic road trip, would be when we lived in Wisconsin. And when we were there, my dad's form of connecting with me was I grew up in the era of extreme sports, so I was into inline skating.
Extreme,
yeah. So my dad's form of connecting with me, he was like, all right, you love to skate. So he decided to buy a bus, like an old bus, and we ripped out this back half of the bus's seats, belt ramps to put in there, and we would go and set up at the parking lots to like do a ministry telling people about Jesus while skating. While skating.
Look at you.
Well, fast forward, I go off to college, they move to Japan, like you do.
Yeah,
So
naturally.
There's this bus, and of course once you get the bus you can't leave it yellow because it's illegal and everything like that. So went to the hardware store, got a bunch of paint, painted it, big blue bus. My dad finds a ministry out in the desert in California. They're a ministry that's trying to help people coming out of the drug culture.
Okay.
So pretty awesome people. So he said, okay, I'll give you this bus if you send somebody to help me drive it to you. I went to college here in Kansas. I was at Sterling College. In between years, I was staying with my grandparents in Augusta. My dad has this guy that flies up to Wisconsin. They come down. They pick me up here, big blue bus with skate ramps in the back of it. And here's this guy's name is Palooka.
No,
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
That's straight out of a movie. His name was Palooka?
Right. His name was Palooka. And so here's this man. So he has gone far enough in the ministry that he's allowed to leave the ministry site because he has progressed far enough in his recovery, and he's given his life to Jesus. But he isn't necessarily like, the outside doesn't necessarily reflect what has happened internally at this point.
Yeah.
So here's this guy, big bushy beard, long stringy hair, like downing Red Bulls like nobody's business. We're driving down the road in this big blue bus, and here's Palooka. He's in the driver's seat. So it's classic, like almost road trip movie.
It sounds like the sequel to Road Trip. Road Trip 2.
Yeah. So here comes, like, people are constantly coming up and pulling up next to us, right? And they're trying to make hand signals to Palooka, trying to find out if he's holding, like if they can get something from him.
Oh, my. Oh, no.
We stop. He's got to get like 40 more Red Bulls or whatever. So he goes to use the bathroom, and he comes back and he's like, yeah, man, there's a guy in there. He was asking if I had any drugs. And he's like, but I told him I don't have any drugs, but I have something else I can give him. And so I told him about Jesus right there.
That does sound like an adventure.
Oh man, it's incredible. And here's one of the things that I love about that road trip, right? Because we'll get into that later as we get into the things that make a great road trip. It's also the time that I remember, so Palooka's passed out as Red Bull has finally worn off. My dad's driving and it's like the early morning. Of course, there's no AC, so the door's wide open, all the windows are open. Air's roaring past, and my dad's just like weeping as he's telling me about how his relationship with my mom is going and how he's worried about it and how he's stressed. And it's one of those times that it's like if you pinpoint that time that I moved from being a kid and his son to being, hey, we're both adults. And now my dad's not just the guy I go to when I have troubles or I'm struggling. He's actually saying, hey, let me lean on you a little bit. Let me talk to you a little bit about life. So, yeah, classic road trip.
Yeah. That
Awesome.
is a theme of the road trip, this growing closer in relationship together. Cody, what about you? What are some of your favorite road trips? And do you have like moments that would have been in the movie, road trip movie made from all your road trips?
Honestly, 2 of my favorite road trips happened to the same Christian music festival in Snyder, Texas, Red Letter Rock Fest.
Yeah.
One of them, it's Geek of the Round Table, Brian John and I, driving in his car from Chanute, Kansas to Snyder, Texas. And we take turns driving. Both of us get pulled over. Both of us get warnings and get out of it. There is an animal that crosses in front of Brian in the middle of the night as we're driving, and I yell, "Bunny!" And like he slams on the brakes because he's startled, and then he's like, "You had me slam on my brakes because of a rabbit?" And I'm like, yes, I did. Nearly got hit for that one, but like there was a lot of bonding and just having fun on this trip. The other time I went to Red Letter Rock Fest, I was in an RV with like a band.
Okay.
Now
we're talking.
Yeah.
If you remember John Stevens.
Yeah.
Yeah. So John and Kira's van with our RV with most of their band in it and a few other friends, and we are like sweating to death because the RV is gradually breaking down as we get closer to Snyder, Texas. AC freezes up, quits working. Things are overheating. We have to stop, get water, get coolant, get all that jazz.
That's classic road trip stuff right there.
It is.
Classic.
And then like that time, there's for some reason part of the road or the stage crew doesn't show up. And so like we have to help with like setting up and tearing down for the concert.
Of a rock festival.
Yes.
Okay.
That Skillet is headlining.
Yeah.
So
you became a roadie.
I did for a
Nice.
brief moment.
That is classic road trip stuff right there.
Especially tagging on that you had to become a roadie. That's
Yeah.
like exactly what you would expect.
This is Q Big Lebowski. I roadied for Metallica for a little while. So I have 2 road trips that come to mind immediately when I think of road trips. They're both from when I was a kid. One when I was very young. I must have been like 6 years old. And I tag along with my mom and her friend, her girlfriend, as we went on like this trip of national parks. So we went down through Texas to New Mexico, Arizona to see another one of their friends, went to the Grand Canyon, went through Vegas, saw Zion and Butte in Utah. And I remember a lot of things. It's weird, the things I remember from that one, even when I was so young, or I remember Dale Hart, Texas, being in a Hardee's that the railroad track went right behind the building. Mm-hmm. So the train went by and like shook the whole place. I remember the girl asking me for my order, like, like we got up to the front. She's like, "Welcome to Dale Hart Hardee's." Like I remember that. And I remember Tucumcari, New Mexico, which was a place that looked like I didn't want to get out of the car at. I also took a trip with my aunt and my cousins and my grandmother to Yellowstone. And so like it was me, I must have been like 12, 13 at the time, and my 2 cousins in the back seat, and my grandma and my aunt in the front seat. And we fought the whole way because like that's a long time to be in a car. I just went to Yellowstone again last year with my family and drove, and that's just a long time to be in a car without devices, right? Because we didn't have phones back then. We didn't even have Game Boys; those weren't around yet. And so,
and you reach a certain point going that direction, that you can't even do like the sign game. You can't. There's nothing.
Yeah.
There's nothing to be like, oh, I see that.
Southern Wyoming is pretty barren of anything interesting. Although we did eat at the first ever Taco John's in Cheyenne.
Oh,
Yeah, right. What I remember from that road trip is you don't really know someone until you're driving through the Bighorn Pass in northern Wyoming at 2 a.m. because you didn't book a hotel ahead of time during rodeo week.
oh,
Yeah,
That's a rookie mistake.
it was like
mistake.
So the Cheyenne rodeo was going on, and what we didn't know was like there were rodeos in Wyoming. Every town big enough to have a rodeo was having one.
My friend Lane Frost might have been riding.
He might have been. Also, that was also the trip in Yellowstone where I got out and I patted a bison on the back because I thought it was fake.
oh.
We stopped at a picnic area.
That's why you only have one hand.
Yeah. We stopped at a picnic area and I got out of the car and there was just this bison standing there. I was like, hey, look at this. And I patted it and its tail moved. I was like, oh. So anyways, almost died. But that seemed like a road trip movie moment.
That is totally one.
Yeah. So those have been like, it's fun to talk about that because as we get into this now, our road trips are kind of filled with these miniature moments that make up good road trip movies. Characters, conflict, there's a goal, and it probably explains why road movies work so well because we can identify with them. So, what makes a good road movie in your opinion, Andy?
It's really the journey, right? That's the biggest thing for me, is it's got to have a strong purpose of movement from here to there. Like it's not stationary in like I'll throw shade already, right? So some people would say that Cars is a road movie and I completely disagree.
The cartoon.
Right.
Okay.
Because
It's pure cinema.
right. But
Larry the Cable Guy. Moving on.
Okay, so preparing for this whole thing, I couldn't. It shocked me how many lists had Cars as a road movie.
Wow.
Because it's just in one place. Yeah, he has to be on the road to get there, but then he's stuck.
I agree.
That's not his destination.
And so I don't agree because the whole thing for me, I think why the whole genre resonates with us is because there's this sense of we're moving towards something, and we don't even know if it's going to be good or bad when we get on the other end. We don't know if it's going to live up to our expectation, if it's not going to live up to our expectation. There's this whole idea that we're on our way someplace, and the stops along the way, the moments that happen along the way, shape what happens when we get there.
Yeah. But as a basic definition, we're all agreed that the movie has to be centered around a quote unquote trip.
Yeah.
A journey,
Absolutely.
as you said.
I will say it has to have a road.
No, come on. No. Come on. Cody. What makes a good road movie, Cody?
Again, a road has to be present. And, I mean, there does have to be a destination involved. Whether you actually make it to the destination or not is not important. It's trivial.
That's true.
And usually there are shenanigans that happen along the way. Either some growth or regression in some cases. So,
Yeah.
we shall see.
I have 4 things written in my notes that make a good road movie.
Roadhouse.
One is transformation. Every great road movie, and this kind of goes what Andy was saying, is secretly about becoming. The character isn't just changing scenery, the movement itself is changing them. So the road in these road movies is kind of stripping away some things from the people's lives.
The road?
Comfort, distractions, and ego. The road as in the thought of the road. Yeah. They're forced to confront who they really are. Think of like Little Miss Sunshine. A broken family trying to drive their daughter to a beauty pageant. But every mile, every setback is kind of exposing a layer of who they really are. Rain Man, where a selfish brother finds something resembling a soul.
Are you just going to steal all my movies?
In between Cincinnati and LA. I'm just giving small examples for each of my points here. It's good that those are some of your things because those are good road movies.
They're not going to be on my list now.
Oh, okay.
I have pivoted.
Oh, well,
I stole cars.
I
off
said
of it
one
from him.
sentence. I said one sentence in each of them. The point is the road doesn't just move them forward, it remakes them. And human beings, we love that story because subconsciously we're all hoping that we can be better than what we are now. We all want that for ourselves. So is the road movie just kind of another dressed up version of the hero's journey in that way? Humans love this story. The other thing that a good road movie has to have, odd couples. Road movies are built on what I found, this is like professional talk, so therapist guy.
Okay.
Forced proximity therapy. That's a real thing?
Mm-hmm. That is the thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You take two totally mismatched people, a slob, a neat freak, a dreamer, and a cynic, and you trap them in a car for hundreds of miles. Tension, humor, ultimately the heart comes from watching them collide and then slowly start to understand and know each other through relationship. Forced relationship, but slowly becomes actual relationship. One of my favorites, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, perfect example of that. Midnight Run with Robert De Niro and Charles Grodin, where they kind of bicker their way through the whole movie into a friendship. Third thing, the map as a metaphor. This kind of goes into what Andy was saying too. And Cody said it as well. The road movie map is never really about where they're going. It's not really about the destination. It's about what they find on the way. The destination is an excuse to take the journey, but every detour, every wrong turn, every weird roadside diner scene becomes a part of the greater story. So in Thelma and Louise,
another one off the list.
the road becomes their rebellion. The map keeps changing as they take control of their lives. Almost Famous fits into this category. It's not really about the tour. It's not really about the concerts. It's about them discovering who they are when the lights aren't shining on them. The soundtrack is the last thing. The soundtrack is amazingly important to the road movie. You can't have a road movie without a great soundtrack because the music becomes the motion. It carries you through the miles. It fills the silence. It captures emotions that words can't sometimes. I think of Easy Rider blasting Born to Be Wild, where that song is the feeling of the open road. The Guardians of the Galaxy movies do a great job of this. I don't know if the Guardians movies would technically qualify as a road movie.
There's no road.
I was going to say, according to Cody, there's no road. So,
but the music kind of tells the story in the way I'm talking about there. The soundtrack reminds us that even if we don't know where the road leads, we're meant to keep moving. We just press play and drive. Andy, if your life had a road trip soundtrack, what's track one? What's the song that plays as you pull out onto the highway?
oh man, you didn't prep me with that
Okay,
question.
let me give you mine. I'll give you mine first.
Okay.
Mine, for me, it was always Go Your Own Way by Fleetwood Mac. I always imagined, like when I was younger, I had this dream of getting a motorcycle and just riding it through the mountains towards the Pacific Ocean on a motorcycle. And in my mind, the song that was playing was, You Can Go Your Own Way. Yeah. So that would be mine. That's just what I was imagining. Andy, you can just keep thinking about it. But while we're waiting, why don't you just start on your list of movies?
Probably my number one would be Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Ooh.
Okay.
That was on my short list.
That would probably be my number one. I love that movie. It's got everything that all four of your points that you talked about.
It has
Absolutely.
a road.
Stop it.
And at some point you stop caring about the outcome. Like somewhere along in the movie, and you can't even I don't think I could really tell you at which point in the movie, the very first time I watched it, I forgot that there was going to be an end to this. Because you get so consumed with the entire journey. I can't even talk about it because I love all these great moments in it. And I think one of the things I really love about the movie is the star power their moments aren't the ones that steal it for me. Mm-hmm. It's these side actors that they have these moments that I quote all the time when I'm
John Goodman's in it. Yeah.
Do not seek the treasure.
Important question.
Yeah.
So that story is based off is a retelling of the Odyssey.
Yeah.
Is the Odyssey the first road story?
No.
Okay, what is the first road story? You got one older than the Odyssey.
I'm saying the Odyssey's not a road story.
Because it doesn't have a road?
Exactly, buddy.
You're taking this way too literally.
I would go to bat for the Odyssey as the original.
Yeah.
Because it really, truly is. You spend this man's entire life. Like, this is one of the most... I've talked to Dave about this before. I'm a huge book person, especially audiobooks. And that audiobook of the Odyssey is the first one that I remember vividly, because it was this entire incredible journey that Odysseus went through. And just like we were talking about with Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, you almost forget, why was he trying to get home again? Like, he is so desperate to get there, and there's so many terrible things that happen to him that by the time he gets there, you're so exhausted with him that you're like, I don't even know if I care what happens at this point. That how could it be worse than what he's already been through?
Great definition, by the way, of a story where the destination, where he thought it was the goal, but once he gets there, the story's just getting started.
Oh yeah,
because he comes back to a mess,
a huge mess, and you're like, which his whole journey, the whole process of him getting there, and going back to Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, him going through, the main character going through this time of transformation that he experiences, really prepares him for when he gets there.
Yeah.
Like, to handle his business once he gets home, once he gets to his destination, he's only really going to be able to handle it well because he went through the journey.
Yeah. What other movies are on your list?
So then Rain Man was the other one that I was going to say. I love Rain Man. And that one I really love because I feel like it's one of the first times, at least in my memory, of a movie that really captured the beauty of somebody with that their brain just works different. I feel like there is a beauty that was captured in that movie that embraced that you do not have to be, in today's world we would call it neurotypical, right? You don't have to be neurotypical. You can be neurospicy. You can be mentally different and have an immense place in this world and beauty to offer. And I love that movie captured it in such
it's ahead of its time in a lot of ways, really.
Oh, absolutely.
Because the whole point of that movie is, like, you have Tom Cruise at the height of his dreamboat stage, right? Where he's young, he's good looking. Everybody loved Tom Cruise in that way. He's coming off of like Top Gun. Oh, yeah. And he is like kind of the foil for the longest time. And it's Dustin Hoffman's character that is the likable, because Tom Cruise had always been likable.
Yeah.
And so it's just, what you're saying there is that movie was ahead of its time in a lot of ways.
Yeah, in the 80s, it was not, mental health was not something. It was like,
no.
I mean,
listen,
we can think of the games we played, and none of them have appropriate names in today's world because
we were not bad people in the 80s.
No.
But some of the nomenclature, the words we used, lagged behind, and our awareness levels lagged a little bit.
And I really feel like that movie being so present in culture really set the stage to start a conversation that needed to happen. So
yeah. You got more?
Those are
those are your.
And then I'll throw one at you that I really loved that we won't dig a whole lot into, but I loved The Highwaymen, Kevin Costner.
Oh,
The Highwaymen.
Interesting. Yeah, I didn't expect to hear that one.
I love that movie.
It's a great band and song.
Yeah, that's the one that I'm talking about. But no, the people that brought Bonnie and Clyde to justice, right? The what are they, marshals? I can't remember.
You named like two forgotten movies in people's libraries. Like, you rarely hear someone talk about Rain Man from Tom Cruise anymore.
Yeah.
It's just a movie. It gets kind of forgotten. And you rarely hear someone bring up The Highwaymen for Kevin Costner.
Yeah.
That's wild.
And he plays an amazing role in that one. I feel like that's it fills a niche in his repertoire that you don't really touch in the same way in other movies.
Second only to his role in Tin Cup, many people say.
Oh, absolutely.
That's not Man of Steel.
Listen, no one holds up his hand like Kevin Costner as Pa Kent to say, no, superpowered youngling, you sit this one out. Cody, what are some of your favorite road movies?
Okay, so we go dark.
Not
Right
Donnie Darko, I hope.
That's not a road movie, although there is a road.
I'm sorry.
There is a road. I'm not going to classify it as a road movie.
Okay.
He's bicycling a lot.
Let's go dark.
So I'm going to take you back to 2007 for a movie, and then 1996 for a book, and then 1992 for when it actually happened. It's Into the Wild.
Oh, yeah.
Good choice.
Yeah.
That is a road movie.
Absolutely.
So many roads.
Yeah. Well,
but it's about a journey of trying to find self-discovery, getting off the land, getting disconnected from the world, and then making connections along the way, and then realizing when you sever those connections, maybe it was important to keep them.
He finds out too late that what he was searching for wasn't a disconnect.
It was
just
that
different
old guy.
people. It was just different people. Man, that's a sad road movie, but definitely a road movie.
I like that you tapped into that part of the genre we weren't even talking about, of that solo
Yes.
journey. We didn't talk about the solo journey.
And he has company for a bit, but I got to go my own way. I'm off again.
By the way, when I was considering the song that would play on my first track number 1, as I set out on my road trip, there was at least 2 or 3 songs from that soundtrack that would get close.
Yeah, so I don't know if Setting Forth is my song, but there's the whole album, really.
Yeah, it's great. If you've never listened, it's all Eddie Vedder from Pearl Jam doing his own thing. And if you've never listened to the Into the Wild soundtrack, you really should.
Oh, I wrote so many papers to that soundtrack and sermons.
I don't think I go west. If I'm leaving to go west on any sort of trip, I'm listening to that album to start off with.
Oh, you saying that has now sparked another movie, because you told me 3 to 5, and I only had 4, so we'll add it.
Yeah, add it.
Wagons East. Yeah.
Wow. Wagons East.
John Candy doesn't finish the movie.
I don't like to think about that movie because of that.
It's hilarious and so weird. Not a good soundtrack. I don't remember any music in it, really. But it's a journey, and it has some comedic moments. And you have an all-star cast. John Candy, Richard Lewis, John C. McGinley is in it. And it's about a group that hires the guy that led the Donner Party to head back east because west was too rough and tumble and ragged. So they're like, let's head back.
John Candy might be the king of the road movie, by the way. He's in a ton of them.
He is. Next movie, and Andy already spoke ill of it.
One of the stolen ones?
Cars. Definitely a road movie.
Okay.
So,
tell us why.
Well, he starts off going to a race and then ends up in this podunk town, hates it, tears it up, and then finds out he's stuck there for a while and realizes, like, oh, I need people in my life. I need friends.
Yeah.
And oh, this old guy just happens to be a NASCAR legend or whatever they are in that Piston Cup legend.
Piston Cup.
That's right. And they then end up going to the race, but he finds out that his heart really was left back in that town.
Another trope of the road movie.
Shouldn't have left home.
Yeah. Maybe they don't get to their destination, but wherever they got stuck is where their heart stays.
Yes. And so Cars fits that.
Yeah.
Shockingly. The next one, Home Alone, because I'm on a John Candy kick. And you're like, Cody, it's not a road movie. Oh, it is. Because Mom has to get back to Kevin.
But the movie's not centered around it in any way.
It is.
No.
It is. She has to get from France clear back to Illinois. And you know what? Gus Polinski and the Kenosha Kickers.
Thank God for the Kenosha Kickers is all I'm saying.
Happen to have a van, and they happen to play music, connect, tell stories of leaving their kids in a funeral parlor. I don't know what yells road trip movie like Home Alone.
Andy, you've never heard of the Kenosha Kickers? Polka, polka, polka? Pennsylvania polka?
I lived in Kenosha, Wisconsin.
Did you really?
Yeah.
No. Come on.
Absolutely.
Nice.
So Andy knows.
Do you have any more real road movies?
I actually do, and it's kind of a throwaway movie for me because I don't think I've ever seen it all the way.
Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle.
I actually have never seen that.
Wow.
I avoided it like the plague.
Oh, it's charming.
Okay.
In its own way.
So I'm going to read off the cast.
Okay. Oh, can we try to guess?
Okay. So Dan Aykroyd.
Great Outdoors.
Mm-hmm. Nope.
Okay.
Anson Mount.
Oh. I don't have a guess for that.
Zoe Saldana.
Oh, this is new.
But it's not.
New-ish. Avatar.
Before Avatar. Britney Spears.
Oh, no. It's the Britney Spears one.
No.
Crossroads. Yeah.
Did you really like that movie?
Again, I've only seen bits and pieces of it. So I felt like it needed to be mentioned.
Well, it had Britney Spears in it.
And it's a cross-country trip that takes place on a road.
Listen, we're joking about it, but someone listening, there's someone out there that's listening to this pod right now that I guarantee loves this movie.
And
It's
like,
their
if
choice.
you mention in the community group that you want us to do a Be Kind Rewind on it, we will.
Okay, you heard it. I will honor that promise. Cody has promised on the air that as someone in the community, you have to join the Pop Culture Pastor podcast community group on Facebook
And say Crossroads.
and say, I want a Crossroads Be Kind Rewind. We can
Because
make
who
that happen.
doesn't?
Okay, here's my list. For me, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, which we did a Be Kind Rewind on, is the ultimate road trip movie. It's not really about getting home for Thanksgiving. It's about two guys who couldn't be more different, being forced to share space, time, and eventually relationship.
That's our third John Candy movie.
I'm telling you, I think he's the king of this. Steve Martin is the wound up everyman guy that we all relate to. We can all understand that as adult males. All he wants is efficiency and peace, right? And John Candy is this lovable tornado of chaos who won't stop talking. It's hilarious, but underneath all the slapstick is this incredible sweetness. And the movie lets us, what I really love about it is it lets us identify with Steve Martin's character, his frustration, instead of just making him the villain, which it could have easily done, could have made him the jerk. Right. And that's what makes the ending land so hard, because when he finally sees John Candy's humanity, the viewer is forced to deal with their own impatience for people in a new light. And this movie works because I think one of you mentioned when you get stellar actors in these roles, in these movies, it just works. It works all the better. So I love Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. National Lampoon's Vacation is a road movie that perfectly captures the chaos of the family trip.
Mm-hmm. That one felt too real.
Yeah, it's hilarious, sure. But Chevy Chase losing his mind in the desert, punching a moose. Underneath all that, it feels really relatable in a lot of ways. Yeah. Maybe we haven't done those things, but we've thought about it. Every family vacation teeters between disaster and magic, and somehow those moments of dysfunction become the ones we actually remember the most. And just like the Griswolds. And that reminds us that the trip doesn't have to go right to be worthwhile. And it's proof of something else that's even a bigger truth, is that as long as we're together, we're okay. That things may not go to plan, but when we're together, and Edna may be dead in the car, but we're going to be okay. Dumb and Dumber, I think, might be one of the funniest movies ever made. It's on my list of maybe the top 10 funniest movies. But beneath all the Jim Carrey, the dog van, the tuxedos, the IOUs, there's this strangely beautiful heart to that movie, where it's another road movie about two guys chasing something that they think will make their lives matter, only to realize that they had it all along.
It feels like the Cars movie, though.
Sure, yeah.
It takes place primarily in one location, but there is a trip.
Yeah, the trip is only about the first half of the movie.
Yes, and then you're stuck in Colorado.
Yeah. Well, is anyone really stuck in Aspen? I mean, that's not being stuck. That's joy. Harry and Lloyd are convinced they're nobodies, so they go on this ridiculous quest to be, quote, somebody. And by the end, you realize they were never as lost as they thought. They got friendship, they got loyalty, and they got the kind of joy that only exists when you stop comparing your life to others. And so they find out what they got. Like all great road movies, it reminds us that the thing we're chasing is often sitting right next to us in the passenger seat.
I have not seen either of the sequels to that movie.
You don't need to. Don't waste your time. They had something with that one movie and probably should have never made sequels. But, Hollywood.
Cash grab.
Speaking of movies that didn't need sequels, Pee-wee's Big Adventure. In a lot of ways, Pee-wee's Big Adventure is the perfect road movie. And maybe even the perfect coming of age story as well. Every man has that childlike part of himself that would still go halfway across the country chasing something ridiculous.
No.
Something that probably wouldn't matter to anyone else. And for Pee-wee, it's his bike. But that silly quest becomes a journey of self-discovery, one that only he could have. It only is valuable to him. It only makes sense for him. And the genius of Paul Reubens is that while Pee-wee gets to stay wonderfully weird and innocent, the viewer grows up watching Pee-wee. Like people my age and down to Cody's age remember growing up with Pee-wee's Playhouse,
right,
and things like that. But you remember the moral of Pee-wee's Big Adventure being he doesn't realize what he's gained, but the viewer does, because they show you at the end all the people he met along the way. It was always about the people.
I know what you are, but what am I?
That's right. That's the lesson. I believe Confucius said that. Little Miss Sunshine, the kind of road movie that sneaks up on you. On the surface, it's a dysfunctional family crammed into a VW bus, chasing a child's dream of competing in a beauty pageant. But what it's really about is learning how to replace dysfunction with function. How to do life together even when you're falling apart. This one hits home for me because I kind of grew up in a toxic home where I say that and you think, oh, that's bad. Was there bad things? Like, no, there was just dysfunction. And everyone, when there's dysfunction, everyone compartmentalizes. They go off to their separate places. They isolate, which is exactly where you find the family in Little Miss Sunshine. But because they have to go on this trip for the little girl they all love, they're forced to decompartmentalize with each other.
Right.
And that whole movie is about them coming to terms with the real them and then learning that they want to fight for each other. Like, that movie's great, Little Miss Sunshine.
Steve is criminally underrated in road movies.
Yeah? Steve Carell?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. What's another one?
The movie that I would have named before that one, and it's a weird one, so don't sass me, but Seeking a Friend for the End of the World.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Like, it is a road movie, but it's also the end of times movie. Yeah. And it gets kind of dark in places, but then you have this beautiful moment at the end.
Yeah.
I'm not going to spoil it.
Tommy Boy. Yep. Might be one of the more cliche road movies. The setup is definitely cliche. You got immature guy who in this case loses his dad, hits the road with a grumpy coworker, and somehow grows up in the process. That's super cliche road movie stuff. But the cliches exist because when you do it right, they work. And this movie is special. It's not just the plot. It's not just that it's funny and hilarious, which Chris Farley and David Spade are funny and hilarious, but it's the heart of the movie. Farley turns what could have been this one-note man-child into someone we genuinely root for, which was his gift.
Right.
He did that in a lot of movies. Watching him stumble his way toward maturity, learning that loving people is what gives life purpose, not the success or the sales quota. All of that hits harder than you expect still when you watch that movie today. But honestly, this is the thing. Now that movie has become even more special because I feel this ache every time I watch that movie of what we lost when Farley died. We were robbed of decades of laughter, of seeing him to keep growing. And Tommy Boy is hilarious, but it's also a reminder that we were denied like another 30 years of Farley and Spade movies, which I would have watched endlessly.
Although that changes Joe Dirt.
Yes,
The ultimate
probably.
road movie.
Probably. But I think Spade would trade it. He'd trade Joe Dirt in anything he's done since then to have Chris Farley back, I bet.
Well, I would hope.
This one, I thought a lot about this one, and I saved this one I have a last one, and then I have a bonus one.
Okay.
But this one is the most special to me. The Muppet Movie.
Yeah.
The Muppet Movie is pure magic. It is literal movie magic. And I cannot watch it to this day without becoming emotional several times in the, like, I'm like already cracking a little bit just talking about it. This movie has no right to be as deep as it is. It has no right to be as emotional as, and yet it is. As an only child of a single mom, I connected instantly with Kermit, the quiet dreamer who wants to leave his lonely swamp in search of something bigger. But what he finds along the way isn't fame, it's a family.
Yeah.
And this is like, for kids that were like the latchkey kid generation, I think that's why this movie hits so hard, is because it's this family, found family movie. All right. It's a picture perfect of how a journey toward a dream almost always leads us to your people, the people you're going to do life with. And then there's the soundtrack, which I contend is maybe one of the best soundtracks of all time. And I know that sounds weird. It's all Muppets.
I'm not even sure if it's the best soundtrack of a Muppet movie.
Fair. But this is the one that started it. I think it's the one it's the most joyful and sincere. It's the most authentic. And it's just somehow timeless. The moment that undoes me every time in this movie is going to sound super weird. But every time Gonzo sings, I'm going to go back there someday. I can't.
I get that one.
I can't hear it without crying. Like, I literally will weep when I hear him sing that. And these days, I'm convinced that song's a metaphor for heaven. That feeling. There's a feeling of longing for home, for belonging, for finally being where you were always meant to be. And the Muppets just wrap all that in felt and music. And like, it's like that song in that movie becomes something holy. It is an ascendant thing for me in my life. Like, that movie's great. I think it's the one that's most important to me. My bonus.
Well, Jim Henson, with like everything you just said, he was magic at capturing it.
Yeah.
With the Muppets, everything he did, it was like he saw humanity and said, I can show you that with a puppet.
Yeah. All due respect to Jason Segel and the new Muppets.
I was going to say the Muppets.
Yeah.
That movie slaps.
It slaps. It's fun, but something's missing. There's something deep that's missing that wasn't missing with the Jim Henson old Muppets.
It's a story by Jim Henson, though.
The new Muppets?
The Muppets, yes. And am I a man or am I a Muppet, Dave?
Okay.
Profound.
Okay.
Profound.
That song might be the best Muppet song, though.
So profound.
Yeah. My bonus is this. I want them to make a remake of something
Crossroads?
that's a road movie. Not Crossroads.
How can you do it without Britney Spears?
There's no deep message here. There's no spiritual metaphor. It's just pure chaos with celebrities. A modern remake of the Cannonball Run.
Oh.
This has to happen. Picture it. Today's biggest stars thrown into a cross-country race filled with ridiculous stunts, expensive cars, and absolutely no moral growth whatsoever.
So I nearly did Smokey and the Bandit.
Yeah.
Smokey and the Bandit 2. And Over the Top as my 3.
Over the top.
But I thought that would completely derail the show, so I kept my list.
It's like when I turn my hat around, I become a completely different person.
There is a road and a trip.
A Cannonball Run remake would easily be the most expensive movie ever made if they did it right. Because of all the celebrities. Get everyone.
Yeah.
Like Taylor Swift would have to be in this movie because that would be the equivalent of like 80s. That was people you don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
Those were the biggest stars we had. They were in the Cannonball Run movies. So you like I'm talking like Taylor Swift. Who else? Who's the biggest? Chris Hemsworth. I don't know. Jackie Chan was in Cannonball Run.
Jackie Chan will be back in Cannonball
Which tells
Run.
you how old that is. But like it wouldn't even the best part wouldn't even be the film. It'd be the outtakes because that was always the best part of the Cannonball Run
Although
movies.
you don't have Burt Reynolds cackling.
We could just bring it back just for the joy of the memory. Yeah, Dom DeLuise and Burt Reynolds just laughing uncontrollably because that's where the real joy lives, right? In those movies. A bunch of A-listers trying to keep a straight face while everything around them is going off the rails. And then you got Burt Reynolds. Dom DeLuise is like crying. He's laughing so hard. It's not art. It's not profound. But sometimes the world just needs a high-speed comedy with great blooper reel at the end.
Well, but that's why this whole genre is so vast, is because it is. Like, you have the whole gambit of
We're the
types.
Millers.
We're the Millers. Good honorable mention. I enjoy that movie.
Like, you can go from not very profound, very shallow, just hilarious mishappenings in comedic moments to something super serious and profound, and you find a deeper truth within it. And, and everything in between.
Eat, Pray, Love. I'm just kidding. I've never seen that. I'm just kidding. I've seen it.
The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants.
I was trying to pretend like I hadn't, but I've seen it.
All right. Anything else?
Okay, we didn't say it.
Titanic?
A Goofy movie.
Oh, that is the ultimate. Animated.
You know me. I hadn't seen Goofy Movie until we did the Be Kind
Road
Rewind off
movie.
it. Yeah, a couple years ago.
But since Andy had thrown me off with his car slander, I had to double down on cars.
But if my favorite animated road movie would be a Goofy movie.
Oh, and Max is such a villain through most of it.
Yeah, man, you just love to hate him.
Yeah, go back and hit our Be Kind Rewind on a Goofy Movie for more Max hate.
Jackson triples down on it.
All right, tell us what your favorite road movies are. If we didn't mention them, there's a ton of them out there. There's probably some we didn't mention. Probably some that we didn't mention that we're going to regret not mentioning. But let us know what your favorite road movies are.
Star Wars.
No. Tell us what we get right. Tell us what we get wrong.
I'm waiting for somebody to make the case for all 3 of the Lord of the Rings movies.
Lord of the Rings, definitely a road movie.
There is a road.
But like it captures almost all 4 of the things that I think make a good road movie. I just thought someone else was going to say it.
Yeah.
And so I didn't put it on my list.
I was waiting. I was waiting for somebody to make the case.
Lord of the Rings, definitely, and The Hobbit for that matter. Yeah. Although not the movie The Hobbit, not the Hobbit movies, because they change it so much it becomes less of a road movie.
There's no like there and back again, which is what Bilbo names his whole journey.
Yeah,
you lose the there and back again in the movies. So you're like, oh, this is taking what? This wasn't in the book.
Peter Jackson giveth and Peter Jackson taketh away. All right. Tell us what we got right. We'll see you next time.